do I need to play summer ball just to play to get innings? Or do I need to train to really, truly figure myself out?
We are back with another episode of the Bullpen Podcast.
Yeah, good for it. But we're back.
We're back.
Nico.
Week number 2. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Time flies.
All right, guys, we're going to get right into it. What do you got for today?
I mean, if we're talking about schedule, we got a busy day ahead. We got the Transfer Portal Showcase. We got a million guys in-house, so it's pretty much just staying on our feet, staying busy, and trying to keep somewhat of a flow going through this crazy time right now.
Absolutely. You know, guys going in the portal. The portal has been as crazy as it's ever been in history. We're talking like, 4,000 or 5,000 players hitting the portal this year. That's insane.
That is insane.
But with that being said, as well having a lot of guys in the portal, we see a lot of guys playing summer ball. All right, summer ball is this big thing after college that guys play to either get more innings or more exposure and whatever not. The question becomes, who do you guys think the summer ball is beneficial to? And who does it not benefit as much? Because it could be turned into more of a business for a lot of people too.
I mean, I think there's a lot of variables that go into it, right? I think something that we have all discussed, being in this office working together, like we just have ideas flowing off the top of our head, and we get to talking, and then we're just like, man, this is such a good topic to bring up, because a lot of our guys that are in house right now are college guys, right? And having this conversation, having this thought, it's one of those things to where if you didn't play, right, if you didn't play this year, and you need to get innings, whatever the case may be, maybe summer ball's for you, right? But at the end of the day, too, you got to look at the big picture. Is if you didn't pitch, for one, obviously there was something that the coaches didn't like or see, to where maybe it was because your velocity, or maybe it was your command of your pitches, or all different variables. But at the end of the day, too, is like if you're trying to become a guy that is on the staff, that is looked at as a valuable asset, sometimes that's when you have to look inside and be like, do I need to play summer ball just to play to get innings? Or do I need to train to really, truly figure myself out and what I'm actually lacking to be able to be a vital part of the team, right? So it's like, I think we had this conversation. If you're a guy that is the dude and you get invited to go play in the Cape Cod League, you got to go play in the Cape Cod League, right? Like, no one's telling you no for that, because that's showing that, hey, you're a prospect, you potentially could get drafted. Like, it just raises your stock, especially if you go do well. But if you're a guy that's just playing in some random summer league, what is that really doing? Because then at the end of the day, when you're signed up for training, you're playing summer ball, like, if you're just still the same, you're not getting any better. So you just wasted 2 to 3 months that you could be training and really honing in your craft and understanding how to play baseball, how to pitch, how to go through all the fundamentals, and actually show up the next year for school and be a completely different dude.
Definitely agree with that. The biggest thing is with kids that they don't know what they need. They just play summer ball, they have to spend money, $1,000, go to Florida, go to perfect games and stuff like that. But if you're somebody that doesn't have below, you need weight, you need muscle, you need to be stronger, all this different stuff, and you come in a place to trade, you spend money, and you still want to play. I have a couple guys who want to play summer ball, but they want to gain velocity, they want to gain weight, and they want to get stronger, but they're playing twice a week. So it's like,
you can't really
I don't think we can do that. It's like, or we either go in to gain velocity, to get stronger, or either you go in to play baseball and summer ball, and that's it. So my opinion is like what you need matters the most. But I have to be honest with them, tell them like, you ain't gonna gain no velo, you ain't gonna get stronger if you're gonna play the whole summer. Just let me know what you want, and then we can be on the same page. But definitely, summer ball is not for everybody, and in my experience, it can be draining, and then you're gonna play summer ball, and then you're gonna play fall ball, and then you have just a little break in the winter and the season, and it's like you never stop.
You never stop. It feels like you're going 9-10 months straight of just
not even a big leaguers do that.
And then you're actually you're actually going down as the spring hits, because you've been going nonstop all this time. But like you guys said, it always depends. What is your scenario? Like, what are your circumstances? If you're a guy throwing mid-90s and you didn't get the amount of innings that you should have gotten, and you need to work on pitchability, executing in game, summer ball is for you. Definitely. You need to get the game reps. There's nothing that's going to replace the game reps. But if you're throwing mid-80s, like, unfortunately, as crafty as you could be, you're not going to get the opportunity to play. And sometimes like private facilities like us, we get a bad rep for pushing velocity, but you have to understand like when college, like the big colleges come in here and they ask for guys,
I want to see velo.
they want to see velo.
I want to see stuff.
They want to see stuff. Scouts, MLB scouts, when they come in here and you show them, oh, dude, I got this guy who just dices everybody up, dude. But he's 88, 89. They're like, I don't really want to see it. Yeah, but he got the best knuckleball and the best changeup in the world. I don't want to see it.
No.
It needs to be in the mid-90s. So if big schools that are paying money nowadays for pitchers, if MLB teams are looking for velocity, right? Because if you don't have velocity, you're simply just not going to play. You're not going to be invited to the party.
No.
So understand, like, if your velocity is not there, if you're not getting the playing time because you're not good, summer ball is not going to help you. Just dedicate it to training. Sell out for training. Give yourself 3 to 4 months where I'm like, all right, I'm going to sell out for this.
Mm-hmm.
And actually revamp, get to know who you are as a player.
Yeah.
So when you go into the fall and you get a couple innings there, prepping for the spring, you have an identity. And you're like, all right, now I could go and be myself and earn a spot in the rotation and actually become a well-known name.
Yeah.
Like you guys said, if you're just a guy throwing like mid-80s, just okay stuff, and you maybe could pitch, I think you can only go so far.
I think just to kind of go off of that and like just thinking about my experiences and like conversation I've had with some of my athletes, some of them want to play pro ball because that's what their buddies are doing, right? And like I always try to preference to all of my athletes. All my athletes like, dude, I want to get after it. I want to hit it hard. I want to get, stronger, better, faster, all this stuff. But then they want to go play summer ball. And then they also want to fix things, right? I know. And I've told multiple guys, and this is from personal experience, it is really hard to make changes and adaptations to your delivery as if Monday through Friday you're working on stuff that, we're trying to fix. But then you're still pitching in the game on Saturday. What I think a lot of people don't realize is like change takes time. So yes, you have 5 days of great quality work, but the moment you step on the mound, your body and mind only know how to pitch and throw one way on the mound. So all that work you just put in is not going to show right away. Sometimes maybe 1 or 2 pitches or maybe something will sink, but the consistency of it doesn't happen. And then guys get defeated or pissed off that like, hey, I just put in 5 days of work. Why didn't it showcase on my Saturday start? Bro, because it's 5 days. This stuff takes years. It takes thousands of hours. And like for me, from my personal experience, I played winter ball twice, right? Normally after every season, it's a 6-7 month long season, I took a 2-week break and then I got right into my training. Whatever I didn't like about what I did during the season, when I would reflect on it, that was my focus for the whole off season. But there was twice that I had to go play winter ball. One was because I didn't pitch and teams needed to see that I was healthy, so I went and played winter ball. That was more of a scenario that I needed to play and show people I was healthy again. The first time I played was because I didn't have a great season and I was fighting for a job for the next year. So I wanted to go down there and show teams that like, hey, I'm good. I just needed to fine tune some things. But I was a different person because I was a professional that knew what I needed to do, right? A lot of these kids don't know what they need to do. They just think that, I'm going to go play summer ball, it's cool. But in reality, it's like, no, let's build proper mechanics, proper movement patterns to allow us to actually accelerate the next year.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And it's also your goal. Like, if you want to become a professional, definitely you have to take into consideration, like, the summer. I think the summer is really important. Now, if she's a kid that is going to, I just play high school and I'll be done. Yeah, you go play college, go play summer ball, have fun. And something that we were talking, me and John, yesterday is how players want everything fast. So summer ball, players want to get fast, get strong, play, games and throw hard and make adjustment all at the same time, because then they cannot be patient. Like you say, they give up, they defeat it. And in my opinion, it's like, it's either one thing or nothing, you cannot get everything at the same time. In baseball,
And I think, so people could actually understand and comprehend this. We're saying all this because if you really want to become good at something, you need to specialize. And when you specialize, you need to break things down piece by piece.
Yeah.
Make those stocks go up of those individual attributes that you want to be better at. And that's when when you combine all those, that's when you get the final product. That's the game product. The reason why it's so difficult to make mechanical adjustments during the season where you're pitching is because if, for example, we change the arm path because the arm path is faulty. If your body has this stabby arm action and it's normally getting to release point here, if we change your arm action, release point is not going to be the same. It's going to change a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be reflected in the game right away.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have time to process. We're like, hey, my release point changed by 2 inches into extension and, you know, maybe lateral tilt. That's going to completely throw off where the ball is landing up.
So it's going to throw off your shapes.
Exactly. So it's going
to change your shapes.
So it's going to be a completely different game that you need time to adjust. So when we make mechanical adjustments, we go into a process where like we are throwing either to a net, we are simplifying things down where like there's less variables. And then once those we start seeing changes, all right, we start seeing more changes in catch play. We start, all right, let's extend it a little bit out. Let's see how your shapes are, you know, coming about. Hey, usually when guys go through a ply testing phase or a pull down phase, when they start playing catch again to higher intensities, they are a little bit wild. But that's that adjustment process. Once that they fix that within a couple weeks, all right, now let's hop into a mound, let's throw some bullpens. But that takes time, right? And if we rush that process from 3 days of doing mechanical stuff and then going into the game and trying to perform the game, you might get worse than the game there in that moment because your body has not fully adapted to that thing. So it's like understanding, like Nico said, it just takes time, and there's a time and place for everything. If you want to really become good at something, you have to sell out and specialize. Like you have to sell out. I'm selling out for velocity. Let me get that. All right, do I get that? Let me go into some pitch command. Let me go into some pitch assign, them command, them the game. And it goes into that process. We're not saying, because people also believe like, oh, it's just velocity. Nobody talks about pitchability. Yeah, we talk about pitchability all the time. But the thing is that you need to have certain prerequisites for that. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're throwing 85. You could pinpoint it, you know, low and away. It's still going to be out of the park. People are going to hit out of the park because it's 85. Now, if you could throw 95 around the zone, it's going to be easier for you to pitch. Right? And then we could talk about pitchability. All right, like I need you to be like a little bit more precise with this pitch or like this execution with this pitch. Like don't leave your slider up, stuff like that. But you need the prerequisites of having stuff for you to get to that point.
And I think everything that you both are saying it's right on point with like my thoughts as well, because like we all three come from different facets. And I think just going off of that in a sense of thought, like I want like everyone that's watching this, like you can make changes, right, mechanically. But I say that in a sense of like, because I've been there where I had a bad start, stuff was out of whack. I was able to make the adjustment for the next start, but because I specialized, my job was baseball, I could actually make quicker changes than what a lot of guys that we work with, because I had an understanding of my body. I had proprioception, I had feel, right? So if I needed to make an adjustment, I could do that. But also, I will say this too with baseball players. This game is a matter of adjustments, and some guys don't have the patience and understanding that we always want a quick fix, right? It's like we see it every day in plyos, to where it's like a guy does exactly what we want him to do, hits on it, and it's like a light bulb goes off, but then the problem is they think they figured it out, and then they stop doing that. They don't become mindful of like, holy shit, I just actually repped a good rep out. Now that's when you have to bottle it up and continue to repeat that. Just because you did it once doesn't mean it's going to be right the next 10 times, right? And one thing that I want to say to John is, in a sense, like what was really helpful is the video that Tread just posted about how the pelvis works in the stack position, which is a huge importance of the throw, right? Like we've talked, and you said something really good in that video that like I actually sent it out to all my athletes, like, hey guys, I know I preach about the stack, how important it is, but like maybe a different tone, maybe actually a visual thought of it. But you mentioned about how important the stack is, but also how we see big leaguers that maybe create a little bit more lateral tilt back or like a crochet that goes forward. But the reason why they can do that, they throw 95. They have an understanding of what their body's doing. So sometimes these athletes are like, well, Scooble does this. Well, yeah, Scooble's a Cy Young Award winner, throws 100 from the left side, so he can do it, right? But like stuff like that, I think what what I'm getting at is like, there's things that you can do, but if you can actually get to these positions consistently, yeah, it's okay to have maybe too much tilt or something like that. But if you're not able to replicate that and you're throwing 85, obviously there's work that needs to be done.
Real quick, because I don't want to lose my thought on this one. 'Cause I think that's money. Talking about like older guys, I think older guys who've been playing for a long time, guys that are in AAA, guys that are in the big leagues, they have an identity. Something you mentioned before. So they have hundreds, thousands of more reps than the younger guys. We're talking 7, 8 years of, reps on reps on reps of repeating their mechanics. And like when I talk to my older guys, if they have a bad game or stuff like that, it's like, hey, your execution was off a little bit. Hey, you're just going a little bit earlier here with the arm, which is changing the release, which is, maybe you're just rushing with the torso a little bit. Simple things, and they're able to make the adjustments game to game, right? Because they have so many reps under their belt. They're like, all right, Roger, and then they fix it the next game. But when you're young and you're just a freshman in college or sophomore and you don't have that stuff yet, you don't have that identity. You don't really know who you are. So you need to create that in a training facet first and then express it in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about identities, to build identity, you have to be consistent with one identity. I feel like younger guys, they want to maybe be Chapman one day, next day they want to be Schoolball, next day they want to be Churcher, next day they want to try a kick change, next day they want to try this drill, and it's like, how are you going to find who you are if you're just jumping around different drills?
They're not even finding their identity, they're just copying.
That's what I'm saying.
And if you go to a copy machine, doesn't matter how expensive the copy machine is, it's never going to be the same as the original.
No.
So I think guys need to understand, like, when they're looking at these big leaguers, it's like, how can I learn from them? But I don't have to be exactly the same. Like, you want to obey by principles of what elite throwers do. But if you try to copy the same, I'm just going to do it because Chapman does it. Dude, you don't have the levers that Chapman has or the range of motion that he has. Like, you guys are completely different. So you're trying to copy a person that's completely different to you. It's probably not going to end up well. Maybe learn about your body through training. Figure it out. Like, this is how my body wants to move. I'm obeying by the principles of what elite throwers do, and this is what we do here at Tread. We teach guys that. Then you build your identity off that, right? But just copying a guy straight off a YouTube video, it's probably not going to help you right away, in my opinion.
I think too is we all do it, right? Like when we give breakdowns, sometimes what we do, and I know I do it, John, I know you do it, Willie, I know you do it. We will have our athlete and we'll be doing a breakdown, but we'll put up a big leaguer. That way we can actually show you, like we're not saying, hey, if you do this right, you're gonna be like him. No, we're trying to give a visual and paint a picture of like, hey, if we're talking about, watch how the pelvis rotates down. He's not, landing uphill, he's not doing this. It's more so to show you.
A role model.
Exactly, because I'll give an example. I'm gonna shout out one of my athletes. A couple weeks ago, he was throwing live, and he had this thought that he thought he threw like Blake Snell. And me being me, I was like, you don't. Like, no offense, you don't. But I'm the honest type of person, right? He goes out there, throws a really good live. His velocity is the best it's ever been. And we were having a good in-depth conversation. He was like, well, do you think I throw like Blake Snell now? And I said, no, I think you throw like Luke Ferguson. And he goes, oh, wow. Because he's always been comparing himself to who he throws like. You can't do that. You have to know who you are, how you throw, before you're even trying. Because if you're trying to compare yourself to a Blake Snell or a Scooble, bro, your anatomy, every single thrower is completely different. They just do the proper positions correctly that allows them to be efficient. So when I said that to him, I think a light bulb went off. He was like, now he's not chasing to try to throw like Blake Snell. He's trying to throw like himself and figure it out, which was really cool because for him, I think he really saw that and he was able to repeat it the next week. And he's going into the showcase, and I think he's got a really good shot of going somewhere really cool. But I think so many guys that sign up with Tread because of like we have high velocity throwers and we put out good content of like how we help our guys throw harder, but our athletes want to be like them and they don't even know what they are yet, right? And I think that's something that like I felt like this is a great part of our conversation because it's like we send videos of big leaguers to help show you. We are not comparing you to this person. You might have similarities, but it's like, hey, look how he's actually creating a drift, actually how he's dropping into his back leg. He's not forcing positions compared to you're trying to make everything happen right away. So I think it's one of those things where I enjoy showing guys how big leaguers throw because it helps paint a better picture of like, oh, okay, now I see what you're talking about, what I'm not doing.
Well,
shout out Tread. I want to just give a shout out to Tread right now.
we have to give a shout out to Tread.
We have to give a shout out.
Of course, we work here, bro.
with the example Nico gave with his athlete, that athlete is trying to compare himself to Blake Snell all this time. How many times do we have guys out there who don't have a coach, who are just looking on social media, just searching, compare themselves to other athletes, and trying to be like them and getting no results as a byproduct? I say, hey, if you're lost in your career, sign up to Tread. We're going to hook you up with a good coach here that's going to show you the way. We're going to show you what it needs to be done to build your identity, to be the best you can. So you're not, second guessing with your career, and you actually could see how good of a player can you become, right? If you pull all your efforts into this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's just like a great segment of like the topics that we could. I feel like last week when we talked and we finished the first podcast, the segment, it's just like the cool thing about Tread too, the ideas flow off the top of the dome like that. It's like you say something, it's like, dude, there's something to talk about, or you say something, there's something to talk about. And I'm saying that in a sense of like being a guy that played professionally for so long. I thought I knew a lot, and I don't know nothing. Now that I'm on this side and all the things that I'm learning, I think I had this conversation with you yesterday. It's like, this is a place where if an athlete has a question and your coach doesn't have the answer is going to get found.
Yeah.
Right?
Like this. Just give it like a couple hours.
Exactly. It's going to get found. So it's like if you're looking for a place to train, yes, what you see on social media is like guys don't, but none of that stuff happens overnight. Like a lot of those guys that you're seeing that are making these transitions, there's been a lot of time, there's been a lot of blood, sweat, tears that has taken over for them to get to this point. But this is a facility where you can come here to fail and truly grow at the end of the day from this experience, for sure. So
that's what we got.
We got our sponsor today.
The one and only, man.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, man. Talking about identity, a lot of people are trying to find their identity in, sports, their work, anything. But you only find your true identity through Jesus Christ. So as a baseball player, let God be the one who, define who you are. And just have fun, enjoy it. You're going to fail every day, but we get up again and we keep, getting better. As coaches, we fail too. And we have to find our identity too, because Nico is different, John is different, I'm different. But we help each other. So that's all we got. It's been a pleasure to be back with the boys.
Yep.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, subscribe. Hey, make sure to comment things you guys want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be huge, right? Like we have a lot of ideas that we think can help you guys out, but if you guys comment, put it down there like, hey, it would be nice if you guys talk about this. Random questions that pop up. We'll kind of like look at those questions and, probably make it one of our episodes and help you guys out as much as we can. So
agree.
All right. Thank you guys. See you in the next one.